Welcome to Game of Roses. This is PaceCase.
This is BachelorClues. And this is This Week in Bachelor Nation. We, of course, later will be recapping Survivor on Wednesday night. It will be out Thursday. We have only 2 episodes left of that season, and then it's done. A champion will be crowned.
I can't believe how fast these seasons go now in Survivor.
I know. But today,
are we going to have a surprise special guest host for that one? Maybe.
We don't know. We're not going to say if we are or not. We hope to. Oh. We can say that much.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's actually going to happen. However, today we're going to be breaking down some big news pieces, some items that have popped off over the tail end of last week and even over the weekend a little bit for our beloved game. We are also going to be doing some screams. We're going to talk about what we're watching. And of course, we're going to have those top 5 Parasocial plays of the week for you. And an interesting state of the game that kind of relates to some Bachelor Nation news. But
lots of news.
Yeah,
big
indeed.
news.
Some news, some speculations, our prognostications. But before we get to any of that, we do want to mention something that is going on our Patreon right now. Lizzie and I have gone back into the past for Casa Gore, which is a thing we do on Patreon where we rewatch stuff, or we watch stuff that's coming out, like we just did Battle Camp. But now we're doing Hannah Brown's season 15 of The Bachelorette. We've been jonesing for some Bachelorette because they're not making one this year. So we decided to go back to the season that started Game of Roses. Our very first episode, I believe, was episode 6 of Hannah Brown's season. We just were like, fuck it, let's recap that. And that's how we started Game of Roses. I
see why we did it.
Yeah. If you've never seen Hannah Brown's season, you are missing out. It's the best season of probably any Bachelor product that has ever existed. We are now relearning that as we're watching it.
Yeah.
There is so much.
We knew it, but it was more like vague. And when we started the podcast, we definitely didn't have the context that we do now. And is it like, oh, will it hold up? Is it as good? And I'm like, this is even better than I had even thought.
Yeah.
And as an inauguration speech starting night 1 is like literally perfect.
Yeah,
I had chills.
What the modern game has become, I know it's, for a lot of us, it has been some effort to continue to watch these successive seasons that, producers are doing shit wrong, players seem scared. None of that is the case.
People with allegations. Well, actually, there is one allegation.
there is one of those.
But they disappear fast.
But it's like the purest form of the game, played at the highest level, and to get to go back and rewatch it with you, PaceCase, has been nothing short of fantastic. We also are going to try to cram this whole season in before Love Island starts June 3rd. So join us on the ride, if you will. It's at patreon.com/gameofroses. And if you sign up for a year, you get 10% off for what it's worth.
Seems like a great deal to me.
Yeah.
10% off. That's a discount.
We hope you'll join us for it.
That's more than I'm getting for my birthday celebration from Cheesecake Factory.
You going to Cheesecake Factory for birthday? Which one?
Well, I don't know, but they just sent me my email that I get a free slice. Well, the nice. Americana, I think, is my... You actually have to select a default Cheesecake Factory in order to get the free cheesecake slice. So I will be choosing the Americana.
The Americana, for those that don't know, it's a mall that is an exact replica, basically, of the Grove, but in East LA, owned by the same
Glendale.
Man. Yeah, it's not better.
Owned by the same evil man, who will probably be our next mayor.
Oh God, hopefully not. But
I know.
All that is to say, please join us in Casa Gore. I just rewatching Hannah Brown's season with you is like, it is really taking me back to that exact moment on my couch where we're like, fuck it, let's just do an episode. But not knowing all that we know now, it's to rewatch it with hindsight. Yeah, pre-COVID, all of that. God.
And you have a masterclass of professional players in there. You have Tyler Cameron, you have Popeye, Pilot Pete's rookie season. We're going to meet Sweet Nums for the first time. Mm-hmm. He just explained that his family is all in aviation. Oh, it's so good. And Luke Parker, look, whatever happens later in the season, his night 1 is Sluician level.
Yeah. He's stellar. He is such a fantastic player. We all know that it all falls apart eventually, but at least at the part we're at now, we just finished episode 2. And I think even after we record this tonight, we're going to do one, right? So there should be, by the time you're hearing this, 3 episodes up of that season. And like I said, we're just going to try and go fast and furious and get them all done in the next 17 days, roughly.
The hyper binge of May 2025.
So please join us for that. But now that all of our business is out of the way, let's dive into
Game of Roses. State of the game.
We have a very interesting state of the game to report today. Dale Moss, the Mossman, has been now widely reported to be in Costa Rica on Bachelor in Paradise season 10.
Jaw drop.
It is astounding. It, to me, conveys a few things, especially when you hear this next piece of news in conjunction with it, which is ABC formally this past week announced renewals of multiple reality shows: American Idol, America's Funniest Home Videos, Celebrity Jeopardy, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Shark Tank, Dancing with the Stars, no Bachelor. We know we're getting Bachelor in Paradise season 10. We know we're getting Golden Bachelor. They did not renew The Bachelor. So what does this all mean for the state of our beloved game? It's my opinion that Dale Moss was recruited to come to this season of Paradise for a very specific reason. I believe they want him to be the next Bachelor. I believe they have not picked up Bachelor for next year. It would air in January of 2026, which means it needs to start shooting in October. So not that far. I think they are going to look
There's
at
still time.
There is certainly still time, for sure. But to my knowledge, every kind of fall announcement, every renewal pickup announcement that ABC has done in the course of the Bachelor tenure has always included The Bachelor. I don't think there's ever been a year where they didn't pick it up with these other shows.
It's not a good sign.
It is not a good sign.
The Dale Moss news, Clues and I were obsessed with Dale Moss. We, like Claire Crawley, saw his Instagram and were like, this man is going to destroy every other man on Claire Crawley's season. And indeed he did, to an extent that no one could have predicted. He got Claire Crawley to blow up The Bachelorette and leave with him after like one date. So we haven't even really gotten to see him play, truly.
Yeah.
I can't believe they got him for BIP. I wonder how much they paid him. And it does seem to me like this is... Like, I believe he and Matt James were purposely cast on Claire Crawley's season to possibly be the next Bachelor. And this casting to me seems like a Nick Viall type thing where it's like, we are going to have this man on Paradise. We're going to see how it plays. And if it plays well, he can be our next lead.
Except there is a difference. With Nick Viall, they knew they were making The Bachelor next year. They don't know that here. We are going to get to some more news.
They just haven't announced it. We don't know.
But that means they don't know. They don't know. That's what that means. They would have announced it. If ABC was like, we're going to have Bachelor next January, it would have been in that announcement. They would have ordered the series. They have not ordered it. I agree with you. Dale Moss is in Paradise to audition to wear that crown, period. Whoever he's getting roses from, Kat Izzo, whoever's down there, irrelevant. In fact, I bet they did do some shit like that. I bet they were like, come in, Kat Izzo's going to be the person you almost get engaged to, and then they'll dump it. I bet they created a story with some player for him.
Like Izzo being in on it.
Yes, 100%. They got somebody who they knew was just like a worker, would come in, do whatever you want, make everything crazy. Anyways, I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that he's there. We all know that now. Theory. This is being reported all over the internet. And I think they brought him in to maybe be that Bachelor if there's going to be a Bachelor. I think there's a bigger thing at play here, which is how does the season of Paradise do? If that season doesn't rate well, I think it's lights out. There's no other reason for them to not make that call. I know that the franchise is in disarray a little bit in terms of not having a showrunner at the helm of the main Bachelor show.
The franchise is in disarray. It's never been better.
Everybody
never
who
been
works
more
on
hopeful.
The main Bachelor franchise has been fired, but that's kind of what I mean, I guess. But Scott
Bachelorette
Teddy,
not picked up this year. Bachelor not picked up yet.
well, yeah, there is no Bachelorette. So, we talked about this a lot when this news came out that they weren't going to make Bachelorette this season. That means the pipeline of where you get your Bachelor from is severed. There is no season of Bachelorette, which would be airing right now or about to air. They might still be shooting it, but it would be about to come out right now. And whatever guys kind of like get to the top 4 or make a big name for themselves, one of those dudes would be the next Bachelor. We don't have that. So they have to necessarily go back in time if they want to cast from within the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And if you start looking back at like, well, who were some of the big guys that we haven't quite tapped yet?
Mike Johnson. It's about damn time.
Well, Mike Johnson was from an even prior season, though. He also was in that Hannah Brown season that we're watching. And Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
He's just stellar.
We were robbed.
Yeah, we really were.
He's electric.
But
1,000-watt smile.
He does have that. If you don't go back that far, if you don't go back to Mike Johnson, you're now getting into season 16 of Bachelorette's the very next season. That was, of course, shot during COVID. That's Claire Crawley's season. He basically dominated that season from Instagram. He won the ring without ever having to play. And we got to see a little bit of his play style when they forced him to have that date where they brought the 2 Listen to Your Heart winners to sing to them before their fantasy suite. God, that season was so bad.
That. He had the mirror PTCs with Claire Crawley, I remember. Oh, God. I just feel like why... He seems like definitely one of the front runners. And I'm like, who else is in the conversation? Blake Moynes, who's maybe Paramore with Rachel Recchia right now. Hard to say. The rumors are that
he and Rachel Recchia were on the next season of Perfect Match, which will come out on Netflix probably later this summer. I don't know when they're going to air it, but supposedly they're both on it. They now are doing joint Instagram posts and shit where she's visiting him in Africa at like
saving baby elephants
things. What are they called? Elephant refuge?
Sanctuary?
Yeah, sanctuary. So like they're probably together, I think. So I don't know if he would be in contention or not. But yeah, you're looking at like Moynes, Grippo. That's about
Grazia
it.
Day.
I think we'll get to some news about him. He's postponing his wedding, but he's still supposedly doing it.
Obviously.
I think Dale Moss is like a very interesting choice if that is the angle they're going to go. But again, Timothée Chalamet. I don't think that Dale Moss's performance exactly matters as much as the show's performance overall. Mm-hmm. If that show does not receive a high rating, I think that's it. I just don't know why it wouldn't be,
What does Bachelor in Paradise season 10 have for it? It has a new location, Costa Rica, new showrunner, Scott Teddy. It has Dale Moss going for it.
And a new kind of like promotional mechanism, flying out those influencers.
The influencers.
You're seeing DLP is posting pictures on his Instagram a couple of times a week about how fun it is and look at Costa Rica.
Keep posting. Go Boulder, DLP.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
agree.
suggestion.
There are reasons to believe this season's going to be great.
Start doing some hot dogs or legs pictures.
What?
You never heard that? That was like an old Instagram trend where you post like your knees and you say hot dogs or legs.
Oh, weird.
And you're supposed to see whether it's 2 hot dogs or 2 legs. I think that what is going against it wasn't on last year. They put it a month after the premiere of Love Island USA season 7. Yeah. That's a big one.
That's a real big one.
People are going to already be into that season. Are they going to come back to Paradise? At least it's on Monday night.
Yeah, it is on Monday night, but so is Love Island.
Right.
And if you're watching
Love
one
Island
of them...
is eternal time.
Of course.
Every day but hump day.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you are getting together with your friends to watch a show and you're already in Love Island, you're not going to stop watching that to have your watch party be Bachelor in Paradise.
Do you think there's Love Island watch parties?
Have you not seen these fucking videos
Monday,
of people
Tuesday,
going to bars
Thursday,
and shit
Friday?
in the UK?
Oh my God.
Absolutely. I don't know if it's as popping
can we do
here
that in
America,
the US? Yeah.
I don't know. But
Clues and I can't because we are going to be recapping every episode live.
Yeah. And we're going to be watching every episode in Casa Gore as well on Patreon. Join us for that. But back to this Dale Moss thing and what it really means for Paradise. and what it means for The Bachelor as a whole. I hate to say this, but I think there is a massive amount riding on Dale Moss and Scott Teddy and how this season turns out.
Yeah.
I just don't, I can't get around it in my head that they didn't order Bachelor, which means there's some question to them, ABC, I mean, as to whether or not they are going to do it. Right now, that decision is not made, and I don't know which way they're leaning, but it tells me probably to the bad place if they didn't order it.
To the bad place. Do you think there's any world in which it is soft ordered, but they're using this as some sort of negotiation technique to lower Scott Teddy's fee for show running or something?
No, Scott Teddy's fee is locked in. He's getting paid whatever he's getting paid for Paradise. And if Paradise goes well and they do want him to show run the entire ball of wax, like that's another negotiation, I would guess, because whatever the terms of the deal were for him were one season of Paradise. I'm sure
trying
they
to
can lock
think
him
like what could possibly make this a good thing.
There's
Golden Bachelor
nothing
was
that makes
picked
it
up.
good.
That's a good thing.
What's that?
Golden Bachelor picked up.
Yeah. But that was already like in the works. The Bachelor is the entire franchise. If you do not have a Bachelor 2026, I don't know. I mean, we all know what that means. That's the whole heart of this entire thing is that show. It is The Bachelor. They just are right now in the middle of having a Bachelorette-less season. And it's like, okay, but it's still around. We had Grant Ellis. We're going to have Paradise. We're going to have Golden. If you don't have Bachelor in January, I don't know what happens. Who's the next Bachelorette then? Where do you get people for the next
Tayshia.
Paradise from? They give it to Tayshia again.
Why not? She's good.
I would
Newly
love to.
single.
I watched another season of her. I'm just saying that I think we're in a very tenuous position here where there's a lot up in the air. Nobody really knows what's going on in Paradise. Well, I won't say nobody. Some people know what's going on in Paradise. But nobody knows what that product will be. Nobody knows, is that season going to be good? I know some things that are happening that are like, I have mixed feelings about much of it.
Yeah.
In terms of the kind of narratives they're laying out, some of the challenges they're doing, things of that nature.
Mechanics.
I'm just kind of like, sounds a little bit like a guy who don't know what this show is.
How they're incorporating the Goldens.
Or if they even are. The thing that I'm most concerned about, I guess, is the presentation. How will this be cut together? What will it look like? Will it feel new? Will we care about this? Or is it just going to be another like, well, here's the love triangle that happens on day
Paradise. Yeah.
I don't think Almost Paradise will be in there, but that's a post decision.
I hope so.
You know, like we don't know. We don't know what that intro will be, all that stuff. All that said, we are, at least for me, I am waiting with bated breath for that July 7th, I think it is, when it first airs, to see, like, I think we're going to know within 5 minutes of that first episode whether we got a franchise left or not. And I think Dale Moss is going to be a huge piece of it moving forward. If the answer is yes, if they order it, this will also be a good sign. If they order it before Paradise airs in July, if they just see what Scott Teddy has done and they're seeing the footage come back and they're seeing some early cuts of episodes and they order it, that's also a very good sign. And that could happen. That
Monday,
will have to
July
happen in the
7th.
next month, basically. But
available streaming on Hulu the next day. Look, I didn't think they could get someone like Dale Moss on this season. This is such a good sign to me. I also think there's an opportunity here when we're talking about possible next bachelors to start over. Start with an extreme, one of the most eligible men in America, or a reality star from another franchise, perhaps, maybe Summer House.
Tom Sandoval.
Not Tom Sandoval. Tom Schwartz. People would tune into either
that.
of those,
oh
honestly.
My God. Can you imagine Tom Sandoval as a fucking bachelor? I would lose my mind.
Yes. Oh my God. The costumery would be amazing.
And just the stupidity.
People will tune in just to see that train wreck.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that celebrity stunt casting is a great idea and a way to get new people to come and watch. I know they're like, oh, it's not for TRR. Shut up. Yeah. None of the show is for TRR. Like,
I mean, I won't say that, but some people find love and all this kind of shit and get married and whatever. Sure, we've seen it.
But it's not the primary objective of anyone going on the show.
Correct. It is not.
I'll tell you who makes it seem like it is. Hannah Brown.
Oh, God, I know.
And I think that's part of what makes this season amazing is like, she seems like, I'm looking for my husband. I want you to be real with me. I'm so real.
Yeah, and she's great.
At times cringe. They give some cringe edits to her.
But
yeah, maybe, look, I know it's not a popular person right now, but Jesse Solomon, Summer House? I don't know. It's just somebody that people will fight over. Tyler Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is in the conversation? Greg Grippo?
Yeah, we were talking about that. I don't think so. I think it's Dale Moss or nothing at this point.
Oh my God.
And if it's not Dale Moss, I mean, that's kind of where it's at, is like, if they haven't ordered the season. So the machine that is in place to make that season is not turned on, which means they are not looking for a bachelor, which means they are not casting players for that season.
I feel like there's still casting cards, even though it's not picked up.
And the company that does the casting has received a bunch of applications. People are still applying to be on that season, not knowing who the bachelor is or if there's even going to be one. But they are not actively winnowing that down and saying, okay, here's the 100 players we need to have the producers look at and blah, blah, blah. That's not happening right now. And until they have a bachelor, until they have that order, none of that can happen. And if that process is delayed too long, you're now starting to push into when they would normally be shooting The Bachelor in a timely enough fashion to have it ready for a January premiere. It's throwing everything off by not making this order. And I don't know what the future holds. I just know that this is an anomaly. Like I said, I don't think this has happened before. And that's usually not a good sign in network television.
What about for Bachelor Echard?
That actor?
The character.
Yes. Please do that. Echard plays a character. He walks out of the limo and he's like, I am Echard, son of Echard. What is this horse that can move by itself? And they're like, that's a car. What is a car? They have to explain a car to him. They have to explain TV cameras, cell phones, houses.
I think any hot actor, Michael B. Jordan, I think would be great if you can get him. Try him.
Sure. Echard, we're going to fly to Spain now. What do you mean fly? Get in an airplane. What is an airplane? What is Spain? What are you talking about? Where is my sword? I mean, it would be a wild season. Okay, let's move on. That's our state of the game. Thank you for joining us. Dale Moss, good luck to you. I know you're in paradise right now.
Moss, you can do it. You're save
playing
us.
Your heart out. Please, yes. If you can deliver a performance that transcends the game, that may be another thing to look at. Nonetheless, we are going to be covering everything that happens in Paradise as it happens, and we're going to be covering Love Island USA. But right now, we're going to move on to...
Get Robert from Love Island USA, who I dressed up as for Halloween. Get him to be the Bachelor.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The snake catcher.
Absolutely. Right now, though, we're going to move on to...
What are you watching?
What are you watching?
PaceCase, what are you watching?
I watched so much this week.
Oh.
It's incredible. I don't know if this was this week or last week, but I finished season 1 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Okay.
I felt in a way I should catch up because this is what is replacing The Bachelorette in its time slot. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Can't wait for season 2. It is.
Oh, wow.
It's a mess. It's all The Valley. There's something similar about those shows where you're just kind of watching these messed up relationships disintegrate. I am maybe halfway through The Pit, the medical drama. I started Andor season 2, which is unbelievable. Did you watch season 1?
No, I gave up on Star Wars a minute ago.
This is the only one you should watch. Andor is incredible. And I just found out it's going to be the last season, but season 1 and 2 so far are really amazing. And I would say I kind of gave up on Star Wars at some movie. I was like, that's too many. I can't.
Yeah. That's the way I feel about Star Wars and Marvel, quite frankly, at this point. I just don't care anymore.
The lead is so good though. Like it's just fantastic storytelling. It somehow feels grounded production wise, even though you're in these like alien situations. And I finished Love on the Spectrum season 3.
Yeah, it's great.
I produced tears, Clues. It was so good.
Yeah, it was very wholesome.
It was Abby's song. I started crying when she sings.
Yeah, when she sings the song to David.
That he's the best boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so pure and.
Yeah, she's a great singer.
She is. She's such a good singer.
Yeah.
I had forgotten how good she was, and it shocked me. And I love that show.
Me too. It's great. I forget her name. She dated the guy who didn't want to have sex for Jesus.
Adon, and
what was her name? I saw on her Instagram she's now dating a cop who is not autistic.
Interesting.
To each their own.
Danny Bowman.
Yeah, Danny.
They had so many. Adon had so many religious symbols in his house. I was like, every single wall had a cross or some sort of Mary or something. Can't look away.
Yeah, that's how to do it. Surround yourself.
Well, I hope the cop gives her consummation that she's looking for.
I think that's probably happened. Yes, that seems correct to me. Well, I started watching Vikings because we finished Uhtred or Last Kingdom. We even watched the movie, which was unnecessary in my opinion. And all I can say is this: we're 2 episodes into Vikings. It ain't no Uhtred.
No.
It ain't no Uhtred. I'm going to keep watching it, I guess, but it ain't no Uhtred.
No, you've lost the sparkle in your eye for Uhtred.
I hope
Uhtred. You find something you love like that.
It would have to be that guy playing Uhtred. I need more Uhtred.
Even though you thought the movie could have passed on that.
Yeah, maybe he could play Uhtred's great grandson or something. I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred, son of Uhtred, son of Uhtred, son of Uhtred of Bebbanburg. I would watch that show.
But modern?
Yeah.
He's the Bachelor?
Yeah. He's like a 30th generation Uhtred existing in modern day, but then he gets inhabited by the spirit of his ancestor who takes over his body in modern times. And he works at a T-Mobile store.
Interesting.
I also saw Tim Robinson's movie this weekend called Friendship. Highly recommend this movie. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Please go see it.
I love Tim Robinson. I think every single thing, every single face even that he makes is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's unbelievable. From the first scene of this movie, if you're not laughing, then it ain't for you. If you don't laugh in the first scene, walk out. But if you do, you're going to love it. You're going to love the whole damn thing.
I like that trailer for a movie.
Yeah.
If you don't laugh in the first... I mean, honestly, I saw the preview for it and I was like, oh God, this looks scary. I don't know.
No, it's not scary at all.
This.
It's hilarious. And that first scene, it starts on this tone that's kind of serious. And you're like, oh, wait. Is this a different thing? Is he trying to do something different? Yeah,
and
then 45 seconds in, you're like, oh no, this is exactly what I came here for. This is fantastic.
Great. Because that is what I worry. I'm like, okay, well, I really love him in these sketches, but is it going to get watered down for a big studio movie or something?
Not at all. It wasn't a studio movie. This was an indie movie that I think he wrote and just got financing for. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, if you like his sketch show, which on Netflix it's called I Think You Should Leave Now. If you like that show, this movie is just it's a more intricate, elongated sketch from that show, basically.
I love that show.
Yeah, me too.
You might have seen it, Bachelor fans, because he made one that was about The Bachelor, and you're just here for the
zip line.
The zip line.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Which Zoe McGrady made a great spoof of on her TikTok. Yeah, I think he's so funny. God. Great.
Yeah, but that's it. That's what I've been watching.
There's not a lot of like funny comedy movies these days, so I'm really excited.
Not like this. It reminded me a lot of when Something About Mary first came out, and the Farrelly brothers were just like that. They were just doing this absurdist, satirical, weird shit that was like only to make you laugh. Yeah. And the stories were kind of like, whatever. Yeah, I'll go along with it because you need to have a 3-act structure. But it was more along with it,
even though in retrospect it's really like creepy, some of the plot. I dressed up as her in that movie for some sorority party. I got the strongest hair gel you could find to flip up my hair like that.
Cameron Diaz.
One scene. She's such a talent. She's so charming.
Totally. And all their early movies. Kingpin was another one that was like super funny in that kind of weird, absurdist way. They're a little more zany, a little more wacky. They use like props and, weird
fake
shit.
Dicks and stuff.
Yeah. Tim Robinson's stuff is more like just completely absurd, usually in his performance, but also in the dialogue and stuff. But it felt very similar to like, this is just a movie. All it wants to do is make you fucking laugh your ass off. Nothing else.
Dang.
Yeah, it's great.
Hype, man.
Indeed.
I can't wait.
Anyways, let's move on now to that portion of our program where we discuss all the tids.
He would be a great bachelor.
To print. Tim Robinson is the
I
bachelor?
think he's married with kids.
Yeah. And he's like late 40s or something. But yeah, do it. I'll watch that. All right, let's move on now to... Cast.
This is... Bachelor Nation News.
First up in Bachelor Nation, we're about to see how many of the biggest players in the nation got into the game. Sorry, I read that wrong. It's we're about to see how many players of the biggest. I can't even read what I wrote.
Oh my god! Get your glasses.
No,
bad.
Yeah. Let me put on my glasses. I don't know if my glasses will be able to see it though, because my monitor is too far. It may make it harder to read. Yeah, it makes it impossible to read. This is only for my close-up things.
Disaster.
First up in Bachelor Nation, we're about to see how many of the biggest players in the nation got into the game. That's how it was supposed to be done. Starting on May 14th, the official Bachelor Nation YouTube channel is going to post never-before-seen audition tapes of past crowns and standout players. The 1-minute teaser for this new series features Joey Gradzidzi, Hannah Brown, Gabby Windy, Charity Lawson, Tyler Cameron, and Zach Shawcross, among others. Bachelor audition tapes will be released weekly on Wednesdays.
Interesting.
Are you going to watch any of these?
Absolutely. I saw one that was Hannah Brown, and I was like, is this an ad for a current ad for Paradise, or what is happening? Yeah. And that just shows how good she was at the very beginning.
Did you ever see Aya Kennedy's audition tape?
Yes. I think that's the only one I've ever seen.
I've seen, at this point, many, because I have edited some as well. Yeah. Yeah, I've made them. But that Aya Kennedy one was like, you're watching it kind of like in shocked horror, because she does a lot in it. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. Look it up.
Yeah.
She like
produces her own
sister's
show.
In it. She's getting out of limos. She's doing all these crazy things. And in looking at it, it was like from a different era. Obviously, she was in season 19, Chris Soules. So it's from a different era where I think she really conveys strong enthusiasm for the show, for the franchise, that she knows everything about it and loves it. She plays her PVC during it. And it just is like, I don't think a tape like that works now. I think it would be perceived as 4TWR, and she would not be cast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very, very curious about these.
Me too.
I saw just one very fast clip, which was just Gabby Windy on a scooter. And I was like, interesting. I like this.
I love scooting.
Great.
Thank you.
Up next in Bachelor Nation news, The Golden Bachelor has a new showrunner. As the Bachelor franchise continues to remake itself in the post-Graebner Freeland era with new creative minds at the helm of Paradise, the golden side of our beloved game has tapped Jessica Castro to steer the senior ship.
Castro rendered showrunning duties on Amazon's Zodiac-themed dating show Cosmic Love, and she was a high-level producer on ABC's Claim to Fame and Netflix's Next in Fashion. Will Castro be able to recapture that season 1 Golden God Gerry Turner magic with Orange County football head lawyer Mel Owens? Time will tell. And not a lot of time. Golden Bachelor Season 2 is going to start shooting in about a month for what is believed to be a fall premiere right after BIP Season 10, which will also be helmed by a completely new showrunner in Summer House's Scott Teddy.
I want to see that audition tape because Clues and I went back and looked at what we could find of Mello on YouTube, and I wouldn't have cast him as the Golden Bachelor based on those videos, but they were talking about sports.
I mean, I think that there's something to be said in the Golden franchise for financial security being something of import when you're casting a lead. That it's like, if you're expecting any of these players to marry this guy, he's got to be offering basically
the
like
nurse or the purse.
Exactly. Especially at that age. And so he is the purse. And I think that probably is kind of primary in casting. He also is just, on paper, he's the right guy, a square-jawed,
physically large,
NFL, physically
long,
large, still
bones.
in good shape. All of that. I don't know. I'm very curious about this next season. We shall see. And I know most of the production crew on Golden is still the same as well. So they just slaughtered in a new showrunner. And now we'll see.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Golden God, this week, Gerry Turner announced he has a new book coming out. The coin-flipping motorcyclist will release Golden Years, What I've Learned from Love, Loss, and Reality TV this fall. The tome's official synopsis reads, in Golden Years, Gerry chronicles his grief after Tony's death, his unbelievable experiences on The Golden Bachelor, and the life-altering lessons he took away from both.
The love stainer told People, I am more than what people saw on reality TV, and now everyone can get a glimpse of my life and finally see the unedited story of the Golden Bachelor. In the past year, Turner has revealed a diagnosis of an incurable slow-growing bone marrow cancer, as well as finding love with a retired teacher from Indiana named Lana. We welcome the Golden God into the rarefied air of published Bachelor Nation authors. Welcome. Good to have you with us.
I like that he has the colon in the title. You got to have that.
Have to. Got to have your subtitle. Title ain't nothing without a subtitle.
I like the coin flipping motorcyclist / love stainer.
That's what I'll remember him for.
You're a poet. Up next in Bachelor Nation news, we have some huge developments in Clayton Echard's legal dramas. In 2023, a woman named Laura Owens filed suit alleging Clayton Echard had impregnated her, seeking child support and asserting she was carrying his twins.
The Ultimate Viking denied there was any intimate encounter that could have led to pregnancy and challenged the suit in court. Owens later claimed a miscarriage, but inconsistencies in her testimony and documents, including alleged doctored ultrasound images and a staged pregnancy video, prompted a judge to dismiss the civil case and forward evidence to prosecutors.
Based on that evidence, this week Owens faced a grand jury indictment in Arizona on 7 felony counts, charging her with 1 count of fraudulent schemes and artifices, 1 count of forgery, 4 counts of perjury, and 1 count of tampering with physical evidence. Prosecutors allege that between May 2023 and June 2024, Owens intentionally fabricated key documents and statements to support her claim that Clayton Echard had impregnated her, actions they say were designed to unjustly extract child support. Congratulations to Echard on putting this traumatic event behind him.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. That was a big story, a weird, wild story. I don't think we've ever seen any lead undergo something quite like this. And it's good to see that, justice is being served, seemingly.
No, he got targeted twice.
Yeah, that's true. Damn.
Yeah. And she then targeted Dave Neal for reporting on this.
She sued him, I think, if I remember right.
I think
Which
so.
I'm sure that is probably thrown out as well. I think probably all of her attempts at some kind of legal attack have been dismissed. I'm not sure. Finally, in Bachelor Nation news, Grazie and Kelsey the Butterfly Queen Anderson have announced they will be pushing their wedding date back another calendar year. In an interview with Sports Illustrated Swimsuit that came out this week, Anderson said, "We really don't want to be stressed. We don't want to just throw things together, and I definitely want our wedding to be pretty timeless. I want it to be able in 30 or 40 years to look like it could be done then. So they're
That's
pushing
impossible.
it from an initial date of 2026 to 2027. Yeah, what does she mean by that? She wants it to look futuristic?
I think that means like you don't want to go with like micro wedding trends, but I just think this is an impossible thing to do.
Of course.
Your wedding is always going to look dated to the time that it takes place in.
Can you imagine doing a wedding in the 80s and being like, I want this to look like it took place in 2025? There's no cell phones.
I want people wearing COVID masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cell phone thing. I mean, what are the cell phones in 30 or 40 years going to look like? They're going to just be people's like goggles or in their brains or picture. You're not going to be able to recreate that, but I do want to see them try.
I agree.
If they're using predictive technology in the wedding,
that'd be cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kelsey shared that Joey also has a lot of input about what he wants their wedding to be like, saying, I want the wedding to be a part of both of us. I know a lot of the times the guys kind of let the lady take over, but I don't know, parens, about that with Joey.
The gazy-eyed tennis master Grazizi also recently talked about delaying the wedding planning process on Cozy in the Closet, saying, quote, we didn't want to rush anything because, as you know, The Bachelor is a very, very quick timeline, and we're going to have a 2 to 3 year engagement to make sure that we are seeing everything through and learning as much about each other before we take that next step. So it looks like we'll have at least 1 more year to wait for the legally binding deal to be signed between these two Bachelor Nation superstars. If it will be signed.
I think this is a great idea. Continue to make this extraordinary couples parasocial content as long as possible.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Keep putting the wedding off.
Tease
forever.
The wedding.
Forever.
Next up is our segment on the greatest parasocial plays. And I think Grazizi and Kelsey Anderson you might see them in this section as well.
Hopefully.
Our number 5 parasocial play of the week. You did me dirty, player Rose Somke posted a video addressing rumors that she sabbaticaled and quit her job to go on Bachelor in Paradise, in which she calls out Reality Steve's reporting. She explains that she quit her job because she wanted to and not to touch sand, allegedly, and then declares that she needs water. The caption reads, also, I quit my job. Everyone congratulate me, please. Ha ha ha. Hashtag Bachelor in Paradise, hashtag The Bachelor, 8.9K likes, 167.4K views.
Is she
I
in
love
Paradise?
all the sand teasing. Not that I know of.
If she's posting this, unless she got kicked off.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Who knows who's on sand? There's a bunch of parasocial plays where people are teasing whether they are or aren't, and I love that.
Dale Moss is the only, I think, confirmed player that has been like reported on the internet. I know a bunch of other ones though.
Ooh, T-seller. Clues is T-seller.
That's correct. Coming in at number 4 this week in our top 5 parasocial plays of the week, the colorful narrator / villain edit recipient on Colton Underwood's Bachelor season turned private investigator of Secret Girlfriends on Hannah Brown season, Demi Burnett, made a hilarious video promoting her appearance on Netflix's live dating show, Pop the Balloon. That's what she's on?
Sorry.
Under the Chiron. I
thought you already knew this.
I didn't know it was that show. I thought it was going to be a whole new fucking show. That show, no offense.
I know.
I
don't want to watch
good.
it.
Under the Chiron, me on a dating show, shaking hands emoji, Netflix, Burnett stands in a bachelorette-style sequin dress, holding a balloon and lip-syncing to the audio. The story you're about to see has been told before, a lot, and now we're going to tell it again. The reel brought in 3.6K likes and 257K views. That show, it's like a one-off. You're not like a character in a whole season of a show. You go in for one episode, and that's it. It's it's not good. It's not good.
I haven't watched anything about it, but the whole popping balloons thing seems bad.
I agree.
Our third top parasocial play of the week goes to the one true GOAT, Gore Girl Caitlin Bristow. Mother blessed us with a 6-slide Mother's Day post celebrating dog moms containing beautiful black and white portraits of her and Pino and Ramen. The caption reads, "Permission to celebrate dog moms today because, parens, see my stories for also having permission to feel 5 different ways at once, end parens. These 2 boys make my whole world go round. At Portraits and Pups, 58.5K likes."
Wow.
Happy Mother's Day.
Indeed. Always like to see Pino and Ramen getting in here. Coming in at number 2 on our top 5 Parasocial plays of the week, the crazy and evil I'm crazy and evil. That's my Carolina impersonation. Anyways, Carolina Quijano, the slow nodder and villain edit recipient, made a joint TikTok this week with Austin Ott, making fun of the fact that they allegedly are not on Paradise.
I'm just putting allegedly in all of this to cover me.
She ain't there. In the casual 20-second video, they muse that it must be terrible filming there and that everybody must be getting bit by mosquitoes and having a horrible time. The caption reads, quote, "Paradise schmeradise," eye roll emoji. Is that what that is? At Austin Otterpop, hashtag FYP, hashtag Bachelor Nation, 9.7K likes, 169.6K views. Whether they make sand or not, we love to see an unlikely couple causing a stir in the nation, prompting the fourth audience to quickly decide whether to ship or anti-ship and comment that BIP is surely missing out on their involvement if so. Austin, I don't care if he's on Paradise or not. Carolina is money on the table. You're leaving it there by not having her. And this is what I was saying. There are signs that this season could be great, signs that it could be bad. This, in my opinion, is one of the bad signs.
Yeah.
They didn't get her.
100%. The entire last Bachelor season was the Carolina show.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
There's your show. What are we doing?
And it's also like the Dale Moss thing of it to me is like, if what we are speculating is true, and I just firmly believe it is, I have no real evidence to this end, but he's been cast in Paradise as a Bachelor audition. If that's true, we know from frame 1, he can't end up with anybody. He can't even propose. Look at what Vial did.
He proposed to Claire Crawley.
Vial?
Dale Moss.
I'm saying on Paradise. You can't have a guy propose and then be like, well, that didn't work out. Now let's go shoot The Bachelor. You have to get to the end and almost propose like Vial did.
Ring, like Vial.
Get the ring.
Hold that sparkler, but don't do it.
But I can't
this is too serious.
Exactly.
I'm still
She's
waiting
not
for
the
my
right
one.
one for me. Exactly. So if that's the story, let's say Moss goes there and let's say it's Kat Izzo or whoever else it may be there.
Zoe McGrady.
Sure. Goes to the end with that player.
Leslie Fema.
Please. Now we're talking. That would be a stain remover.
Ship. Stain remover.
That's a stain stick. I think if Moss goes to the end and does not propose, he is the Bachelor. Or at the very least, that's like what they were trying to do. Who knows if there's even going to be a Bachelor vote. Anyways, I digress.
I mean, I'm going with optimism here.
I go with realism every time.
For our next couple, our top parasocial play of the week goes to Joey Grazize. The Gaysman continues to parasocially capitalize on his 30 before I turn 30 bucket list. He made a 10-slide Instagram carousel of photos of himself and his paramour, Kelsey Anderson, exploring a park, including his yellow notepad bucket list for Joey, which has almost all been done. The caption reads, number 3, go to a new national park. Check emoji. I'll be honest, when I made this list, I didn't think I'd be checking this one off in Japan. This was such a special experience to walk around and take in all the beauty this area has to offer. I can't wait to share more of this Japan experience. But for now, here's some content of us strolling around Shinjuku Gyoen. Man walking emoji. 123.3K likes. He also made an incredible TikTok of his face in which Anderson performs the role of both cinematographer and voiceover work. People always say Joey from The Bachelor, Joey from Dancing with the Stars. She then pans to a rose with the name tag Just Joey and pans back to the Zeetman sheepishly going, I'm just Joey. 76.6K likes, 340.4K views.
It's a good
This
post.
is what I'm saying. Stay engaged forever.
I agree. If you can.
Stay engaged. I'll stay engaged to the content.
Engagement begets engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Those were fantastic Parasocial plays. Congratulations to the Butterfly Queen and Grazia. But there were some non-humans making plays this week as well. And this week, the Parasocial Creature of the Week award goes to some Costa Rican equines who showed up in Dark Lord Palmer's recent Instagram main grids. He has 2 posts featuring these majestic beauties. He's posting all the time now, I guess, in Costa Rica about paradise.
Stop.
And there are 2 main grid posts. One shows a horse on the beach. One shows a horse on the side of the road munching on some shit. It's a video. And then one, there's this crazy picture that he has that's like a horse's nose. It's almost like a fisheye lens just sticking right in the camera. He's really getting his horse photography up to another level. Congrats.
And he's glowing. Look at that.
Yeah.
Paradise has been good to him. But he's also got Hannah Brown in these pics. I mean,
And Wells Adams in one of them too.
I want him to just post even more. I mean, this is giving like your mom level of horse photography at this point. Thousands a day.
Maybe. I don't know if anybody can ever catch up to her volume at this point. But that's all the Parasocial plays we got. Now we're going to enter into that final
season
phase of This Week in Bachelor Nation, where PaceCase and I jump from the top of the pit into the bottom below the murky waters, and we swim around, issue forth our screams about how our fandom of this show, and indeed reality TV at large, has fundamentally changed the fabric of our identities. This is
Screams from the pit.
My scream is related to What Are You Watching? It is related to Love on the Spectrum Season 3, Madison.
Mm-hmm.
This does include spoilers for the end of that season. So if you are planning to watch that, skip ahead 2 to 3 minutes. I had gotten to her bracelet play and her love of colors and dolls and stuff. And I talked about how much I loved, how Madison like brings her childhood hobbies and she's just like unashamed of them and is just like, this is what I do. This is what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I had not yet gotten to her discussion of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. And I know you had told me about it, maybe in some scream.
She talks about it constantly. It's almost in like 3 scenes.
There's so much.
Yeah.
She's talking about it in so many different ones. She's like, oh, I feel like The Bachelorette, but Jen is neurotypical.
Yeah.
And then I got to the Hometowns episode where she introduces her paramour to her family.
Yeah.
And she says, I feel like I'm just on The Bachelorette at
Having
my
a
hometown
hometown.
date. And
Yeah.
I was like, I could not identify with Madison more, I thought.
Yeah.
Except for the tonguing the man in front of her parents, but good
that
on
shit
ya.
was wild. They were just like, we don't give a fuck who's in the room. This is happening.
The dad said, I'm going to get the hose out.
Yeah.
I understand because they were consummating in the kitchen.
They don't give a fuck.
No, I love that. Just,
Me too.
It's like, it gives something of, I just couldn't, I knew you had already warned me that this was going to happen, but when I was watching it and I'm like, oh, she's getting the blessing. Oh, she's getting the, they're asking the parental walls questions and stuff. And I was like, oh, she's analyzing it as The Bachelor. I'm analyzing it as The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe the kinship that I had with this character. And
I felt it too, by
I
the
hope
way.
they go the distance.
Yeah.
You felt it too?
I felt the exact same. Every time she mentioned it, I was like, oh my God, are we the same fucking person? I don't have that many dolls, but I have that many magic cards. That's for fucking sure.
I mean, you've got
way more.
All the stuff behind you. That's basically dolls.
Exactly. Strange Collections is it's a tip off for being touched, if you will.
I just get the dolls for Luca.
Yeah.
The little stuffed animals all the time.
No, it's a great scream. Anytime Bachelor fandom touches some other fandom or some other media that you're watching and it reflects back to you in a way that's like, that person is one of us. I fucking love those moments.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, she sees the world so similarly to me. And I knew that she had made that play with Grant and Juliana, but then she's bringing up Jen Tran, and I'm like, oh my God, she is a super fan. And she demands that her paramour watch the show with her. And
then she's like, I guess I could go to some NASCAR with you.
Yeah. Where you exchange watching The Bachelor with yourself for other things with your love.
Absolutely.
Amazing. What's yours?
Mine requires us to travel through time back to December of 2022. I don't know if you remember. You and I were guests of one Stephen Lovegrove at his...
Oh, yes.
At that point, it was an annual ball that he put on during the holiday season for a bunch of reality players. He invited us. We got to go there. And if you'll remember, I did some work on my outfit.
Yeah, heavy chains.
Yes, it was chains. It was lapel, kind of pins, whatever. I wanted to come off as kind of an evil aristocrat. That was my vibe that I wanted to come off. I'll throw this picture up for you now, PaceCase, so we can remember.
Yeah. Okay.
There I am.
Oh, the smoldering parasocial gaze. I was not ready.
I was a different man back then. But as you can see, it's got some like a little brooch. It's got some stuff on the lapel, some chains hanging around, right?
I believe the theme was Starry Night.
Yeah.
So you and I both had navy outfits, and I wore what it turned out was the same dress as Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Heather.
Oh, wow.
Her dress on one reunion.
So this is where the scream begins. I put some effort into this. It's one of the only times in my life that I thought about fashion in any significant way.
Yeah.
And what do I get this weekend but a series of texts from my friend Allison Freer, who helped me put that costume together. She does costumes for like Zack Snyder movies and stuff. She's a big Hollywood costume person. And I hit her up and I was like, hey, will you help me put something together for this thing? She's like, yes, absolutely. So she and I would spend weekends for about a month leading into that event, going downtown to the fashion district, getting cloth.
She styled both of us.
What's that?
She gave me that leopard necklace.
Exactly.
So cool.
So she texts me this weekend and she's like, hey, you were ahead of your time. And she sends me 3 photos from the recently concluded Met Gala.
Okay.
Click. This is Chance the Rapper wearing brooch chains just like me. This is Brian Tyree Henry wearing brooch things just like me.
A lot of brooch play.
This is Jeff Goldblum wearing stuff on his lapel with little chains just like me. Once again, there I am. So, once again ahead of my time.
Theirs don't look as heavy as yours.
No, they weren't. Anyways, that's my screen.
What was the Met Gala theme? It was like...
I don't know.
Black something.
I have literally no idea. I just know that multiple people, I was going to call them players, multiple people who showed up to the Met Gala were wearing some version of what I wore 3 years ago.
Met Gala theme 2025. Super fine tailoring black style.
Okay.
And the dress code is tailored for you.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying clearly...
History and influence of black dandyism and the importance of fashion shaping black identities. I mean, all of these outfits look like they were inspired by you. Look at Rihanna.
I think they were.
She copied you.
Pretty sure they were. All this is to say, The Bachelor led me down a path of fashion, and now my choices are echoing through time at the highest levels of fashion ingenuity. Thank you very much.
Ooh, this one really looks like you. Coleman Domingo and Valentino. It's got the blue, all blue cape-ness.
Those are just the pictures she sent me. Also, I got a little mini scream too, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I had a conversation with the first player I ever coached into our beloved game, and we might be talking to that player in an upcoming interview in the next couple of weeks. Maybe. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't want to say it's going to happen until it has actually happened.
Yeah.
But it's out there. That's another scream. Now let's move on.
Yeah. Classic podcasting scream. We don't want to advertise the material until we have it in the bank.
Exactly. You never know what can happen, but we're trying to put this together. So that said, we must also mention to you, we're not the only people screaming. If you want to submit your screams to this very program, all you got to do is go to patreon.com, join us in the bottom of the pit. Not only are you going to get to watch Hannah Brown's season with us, you are going to get access to our Discord, which has a channel where you can upload your own 1 minute or shorter audio or video scream. And we play the best ones here. Are you ready, PaceCase, for
I'm ready.
Our scream? Here we go.
Hi, PaceCase and Clues. Hi, Pit friends. Greetings from South Carolina. I am currently watching The Bachelor Bulgaria. The show is about 35 episodes a season, and season 4 is almost wrapped up. We had a weird one this year, though. We started out with 2 bachelors and introduced the third one mid-season. The 3 leads will decide how many roses each of them wants to give out per ceremony. Women can get multiple roses, and they usually eliminate at most 1 woman per ceremony. This year we had regular roses, white roses, a pink rose, black roses, and yellow roses the women gave out. These flowers all meant something different. Now, I am a university professor of computer science ramping up my research effort in preparation for tenure next year, and yet I keep thinking of just abandoning my regular research and working on figuring out the mathematics of the rose quotient in these extreme circumstances. Somebody, please, please, please talk me out of this nonsense. Praise be our beloved game.
Wowee. 35 episodes.
Yeah, there's my head spinning. It's 30. Bachelor Bulgaria is 35 episodes. They have 5 different colored roses. Players can get multiple roses in any given round. I have no idea what's going on there. But unfortunately, you came to the wrong place if you're looking to get talked out of doing this. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to talk you right into doing it. How much time could it possibly take to figure out the rose quotients and what all these roses mean? A week? A month? 10 years? Just do it. Just do it. If you look
whatever
back on
else you're researching is not important.
Yeah, fuck tenure. Are you going to, on your deathbed, look back and be like, wow, I'm glad I got tenure? Or are you going to be like, I'm glad I got those rose quotients for season 7 of Bachelor Bulgaria or whatever it is?
That's a good point.
You'll always regret not doing this. Yeah.
It's going to flash in your deathbed montage, unfortunately.
Yeah. I also hate to bring this up, but once you're in the pit, you don't have a choice. There is a gravity well at the bottom of the pit that is going to suck you straight to it every fucking time. Once you get past about a foot into the pit, you're done. So you can have all these misgivings about like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. It's a waste of time. It doesn't matter. You're going to do it.
You already submitted the scream
at this point.
You already made the decision.
Exactly. So let us know when you have those numbers. Hit us back up with those. We'll be happy to go through them.
I love that, like, all the international versions experiment with the format so much more, though.
Yeah,
like
35 episodes.
Colors.
What the fuck?
I mean, that's like, we're going to make it Love Island. I love that.
Yeah, basically.
Film it live.
3 bachelors and 1 comes in mid-season? What? I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Bulgaria.
Why not?
They got some
Blake
other shit
Moynes crashing Dale Moss's season. I got to date my 6th bachelorette.
Exactly.
I mean, Blake Moynes is breaking records here. Left, right. And he keeps breaking his own record for most bachelorettes
how many has
dated.
he dated? 3?
Claire Crawley, Tayshia Adams.
Yeah.
Katie Thurston.
Recchia.
Allegedly Rachel Recchia.
No. Didn't he kind of date her on Paradise? They went on a date or hung out or something. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But 4, I think. Anyways, thank you very much for your scream. Again, if you want to submit one of your screams to us, just go to patreon.com/Game of Roses. Get in that pit with us and get access to everything we got, including the ability to upload your screams.
And Casa Gore, where we're going through Hannah Brown's season. There is a bachelorette in 2025. It's Hannah Brown.
God, she's the eternal bachelorette.
Hero.
She will be the bachelorette in every year for all time. God, that season's so good. And by the time this comes out, by the way, there will be at least 3 episodes of that season up. Maybe 4, but at least 3. We don't know.
Mini Scream it's making me want to watch Popeye season again, too.
God, it just made me want to go back to that. The first year-ish of Gore, the material that Bachelor was putting out was just off the fucking charts.
Yeah.
What it really makes me want to do is go back in time and you and me start this podcast on Sean Lowe's season.
Yeah, we should have.
Did we even know each other then?
It earlier,
I don't think we even knew each other in Sean Lowe's season, did we?
We didn't know the peak was starting to curve down into the pandemic.
I think you and I started watching during Juan Pablo, or Chris Soules, season 19, I think. Together.
We'll have to check those records,
Yeah,
allegedly.
Anyways, thank you everyone for joining us. That concludes This Week in Bachelor Nation. We'll be back on Thursday with our recap of the penultimate episode of Survivor Season 48.
And get ready, because Love Island USA Season 7 is coming soon.
The tidal wave is coming. The tsunami.
Can't wait. Praise be Dark Lord Palmer.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us. And then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.